Hello, hello. I'm on the road. I'm in North Carolina right now visiting vaccinated friends.
Oh,
you can
good.
do that when you're vaccinated.
Don't get all right. Don't get all vaxy now. Don't get all boasty and vaxy.
You know it. I'm gonna get it vaxy all over everyone's face.
Okay, but this is what I'm talking about, Rude. As experts are saying, like, it's not a passport getting vaccinated. It's just a layer of protection, but it's just, this is the problem. It's like, we're not there yet, and people are already starting to go, like, bat, right? And think like, ooh,
I have my
you
mask.
can still get it, and
you
can still spread it.
I wear my mask everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
It's too soon to travel.
Primarily because I don't want to be that a-hole who's not wearing a mask.
Okay, it's too soon.
But he traveled alone. He traveled alone in a car, which is 10 times better than traveling via airplane.
Everything Steph heads needs to go through this office. It's driving fine. Yeah. Okay.
Alone in a car to a house with the friends that are vaccinated.
I think his trip is valid. I think he's doing the right thing.
I will allow it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad that HR has approved my trip.
So listen, we just were talking the whole CNN COVID doctor special, and you said, I honestly don't get why none of them went public early on. Was Trump threatening their families? And you said, I don't think I'm joking about that. I mean, to ruin your entire lifelong reputation of the CDC, you name it, for this orange idiot. Why?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think they could have done it. They could have resigned and in protest, certainly that's something Burke's
or spoken out and let him fire them. They'd have their reputation.
And to have done it at one of the press conferences where he was standing there. I mean, that's the thing is now we're in hindsight saying, what the F? Why didn't you do this during the whole, the months?
Oh, I know. I know what you would have written. I can almost write the Rude Pundit piece myself. Is if Dr. Burks had auto asphyxiated herself with her scarves at the shove a UV light up your ass press conference at that exact time. If she pleasured herself and started choking herself with a scarf and then just started.
I don't think it works for women. I don't think it works for women.
Right?
No? I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it.
Yeah. I don't,
don't knock it until you've tried it.
I mean, I feel like the amount of time, anyway.
Yes, got it. I understand. It takes us longer. It takes us longer.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't want to stereotype, but
I'm too spazzy. It would definitely go awry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but
although I will say Alex Azar looks like somebody who totally does that all the time.
Yes, his eyes always look a little bugged out, like a little I went a little too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Little bit of asphyxiation, eyes bursting out. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We will get into this with Eric as well, but just the both sidesism. You explained it perfectly. One party wants to give you a slice of delicious apple pie. The other party wants to look in your eyes and watch you die while they strangle you. Obviously, they're both exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why the theme is auto asphyxiation this morning, but
that's more. It's less auto that way.
But you're talking about just reporting, even on like this. There is no. How much more obvious can they be in Georgia, right? Like this is just. They need every single one of them needs to be asked, what does giving water to someone have to do with vote fraud? None of this, you have to admit, has anything to do with voter fraud. It is trying to prevent people from voting who will tend to vote Democratic, period.
And there is already a law against electioneering online at polling places. Yeah. So you actually are already prohibited by law from going up to someone and handing them a water bottle with, vote for Biden on it.
Right. I seriously couldn't. What was the tweet about, not giving water and then, here it is. For I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. Matthew 25:35, offer not valid in Georgia. I first thought, like, what? And then that was because they think, that was their excuse because it might corruptly influence someone? Is it me, or is that them admitting we're going to make lines for black people much, much longer, so they're the ones that presumably need water or food, but that's why you can't give water or food, because it will corruptly influence people that tend to vote Democratic, right?
Right. You can't order, there was that whole group that you could call in and order pizzas to be delivered to the line in various places.
Pizza to the polls. Yeah.
Right. And then there's the other stupid parts of it, which include one ballot box per 100,000 people, which, okay, in Atlanta, but, when you get into Northwest Georgia and there's 100,000 people in 100 square miles, you're starting to make life really difficult for people in rural areas.
Yeah.
And there's just so many components, and they have something in there that's like, okay, if the line is longer than an hour, if the wait is longer than an hour, then counties are allowed to open up more polling spots, put in more machines, instead of just having them there so the line doesn't get backed up. I mean, it's just, and they keep trying to couch it in this, we're making voting easier and safer. But like you said just a few minutes ago, this is all about based on a lie that there was voter fraud and that there was something hinky about the elections in Georgia. The only hinky thing is that it didn't go for Trump.
Yeah. And the two senators. I mean, it couldn't be clearer. We don't like how this turned out. We have to stop this.
Well, that's another change, that a runoff has to be 4 weeks after the election.
Yeah.
And so after the general election. So one of the things that happened in Georgia is they were able to build momentum over the weeks that it took to get to the runoff for Warnock and Ossoff.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I had to give a biscuit if I want to keep my left arm. Pardon me.
Sorry, Mommy has to. I was afraid I was getting too wonky without.
No. Any mother listening knows that mommy needs to multitask. I need to do a juice box while I'm talking because mommy is okay. Mommy needs her arm. Ow. Okay. Yeah, and also this press conference. By the way, could he have done a better job? Oh my God! If the whole Fox theme is he's so senile, it's like yeah. Right? Even some Republicans are like, he's sharp as a tack. Like, I mean, but anyway,
they criticized them. They criticized them for having a briefing book.
Oh, he was prepared. Yes. Much like Chuck Todd said, Hillary was over-prepared. Right. And we can't have that.
Well, no, it's better just to have a sheet of paper with marker scrawled on it telling you what your talking points are.
Right.
Yeah. With Al-Qaeda written out phonetically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. You know what I love about Biden's press conference is that he's just an old man who has seen it all and I'm not going to play your stupid game.
I know.
I'm not going to get into this crap with you.
Oh my God. I love you tweeted about
Gen X of him, actually.
Very what?
How very Gen X of him, actually.
You tweeted, Rude. These questions about whether or not Biden is running in 2024 are horse for 2 months after his inauguration. They only exist because Trump started running for re-election immediately. What a waste of an opportunity to question the president. I mean, and I love how he answered. He's like, the former guy. Yeah, he needed to start his re-election campaign. I mean, it was, oh my God, the shade. It was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said, God, I miss him. I mean, it's first of all, he's been busy, as evidenced by his 75% approval rating on the vaccine rollout and on COVID response. He's been busy. That's why he hasn't given press conferences, because it's not about him. It's been about, getting America back on track in this, once in a lifetime pandemic and economic devastation. It's just, it's like, no, I haven't been thinking about my reelection. I just got elected, right?
Right. I mean, and then, all of the people on the left and right that are sort of writing off his presidency because 2 months in, he hasn't solved everything. It just gets so aggravating. But the other thing about the reelection question that I thought was just weird and made me wonder what kind of information was it was Caitlin Collins from CNN asking, will Kamala Harris be his running mate? And I'm like, what in the world would make you think that that's not going to happen?
Right.
It was just weird.
Yeah. Anyway. Skipping to the gun issue. First of all, you said, yes, it sucks that Joe Manchin is such a D about everything. What would suck more is having Senate committees in Republican hands doing endless Benghazi-like hearings while declining every nominee for the judiciary and legislative branches. But, can I say one thing? John Cooper had a good tweet. The Senate filibuster does not have to be permanently eliminated in order to pass sweeping voting rights legislation. Hesitant moderates can support a special exception to the 60-vote requirement in order to pass H.R. 1 and H.R. 4. Let's get this done and save democracy. As I keep saying, no other issue matters if we don't figure out voting rights. And Georgia, they're just getting warmed up. I mean, there's 200 and whatever of these laws all over the country, right?
Well, and again, to stick with Georgia, Georgia also eliminated, it's no longer the Secretary of State that certifies the election.
Yes, completely punitive to Brad Raffensperger.
They have essentially, so they're essentially, making it so that any Republican-led legislature could overturn an election and appoint the electors however they want.
So they can do what Donald Trump tried to do and will probably end up in jail for in Georgia, right? They made it so that's legal now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. To overturn the will of the people, which, that's the goal. The goal is that they no longer, because these states are turning bluer and bluer, they no longer can trust the electorate. And to do the legislature hasn't yet caught up to the electorate because of gerrymandering, because, of other reasons.
Yeah. I mean, and your piece on guns, are you like me? You and I have been talking about these same issues. Guns, immigration, it makes me insane, right? Listen to, what's his name? Representative Jason Crow, anyone that served in war. That is the issue. These weapons of war do not belong in civilian hands, period. Listen to any ER doctor. Why do you think there were no survivors of this shooting at the supermarket? They're not built for injuries. These bullets are built to kill as many people as quickly as possible. They're not for hunting. They're not for home protection, right?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, my 80-year-old stepfather who served in the military in the 1950s says, no, we used to handle those guns. Nobody should have them. That's not in the military. I mean, he just flat out, everybody in my family that's been in the military says that. And I know there are people in the military that are veterans that think differently, but
if I have to have one more gun splinter go, the AR-15 doesn't stand for automatic. It stands for Armalite. I'm like, okay, so I feel exactly the same about this stupid gun. Okay, it's like, okay, did I get the AR wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, is you right? Republicans need to feel way more heat for their opposition to new gun laws. Everything you could say about our American gun accession has been said repeatedly, and nothing has changed. And you say the point here is not that universal background checks would end mass shootings. It would hinder some sales, but it needs to be paired with an assault weapons ban and other measures. Once again, whether it's the filibuster or whatever, this is like 90% of Americans agree on this, on guns. Yeah. It's just, and the NRA is crippled. Now is the time to strike, right?
Yeah.
Finally.
And that's one of the things I also have in that piece is, in states where there are Republican senators up for re-election in 2022, those states are, 80 to 90% in support of universal background checks, including the vast majority of Republicans in that state. So why no ads saying that your senator isn't listening to you? Your senator doesn't care what you have to say when it comes to guns.
Yeah.
Mike Lee in Utah, Marco Rubio in Florida.
Yeah. Rude, I hate to choke this segment off. I just wanted to end on an auto asphyxiation joke as we began, but we're running late. But I love you.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good thing I'm already not wearing pants.
Okay.
So that gives me a head start.
I get it.
Ew. Okay. I love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you next week. Okay, 49.
We have a bit of breaking news.
Yes.
Yes. The barge in the Suez Canal has been wrestled free, and so it is moving.
And I will always remember where I was when that happened.
Yeah. Stop writing me,
right.
Okay? I knew that they'd get it unstuck. I just...
Good morning, dear.
Cut!
lot to celebrate this week.
You have the right to remain tripping your balls off.
It's like Illuminati, but with leather.
First day at Fight Club, you must fight!
2020 refuses to concede.
I was going to have to return 2021 because I didn't like the 7-day trial. But I'm in now. We're in, sexy liberals.